I'm Tom from Exploration Central, and today we're going to be cleaning my bike. So first thing you want to start out with is your handy dandy dirty rag, and what you want to do is you want to go from top to bottom on every part of your frame and just start wiping it down, and just continue just to wipe until you get all that grease and grime off. You can use a stand like this when doing it, or you can like prop it up against a car. Anything so that you can turn your wheel, either pulling it backwards or pushing it forwards. You want to start at the top of your frame, clean off the crossbeam, get on the side here, start to wipe that down. Wipe your forks down from top to bottom. Make sure to get everything out of this hole or out of this crack here. On your forks, get that done too. Nice clean so it has good travel. Clean off the stuff at the bottom so it doesn't get built up there. Start cleaning the bottom of your fork. You may want to use a little water for this, but I personally don't, because I don't feel like it's needed most of the time. Sometimes it is, especially when it's like 26 degrees here in Virginia. It is not warm. I wouldn't do that. I'm not going to do that today because, well, the water will probably freeze before I can like clean it off. So, yeah, so we're just going to be wiping it down very gently. Don't push too hard. On your frame, you can push as hard as you want because it's your frame, but still. Wipe down the full length of the side, each component. Don't wipe off your disc brakes. Your disc brakes normally clean themselves, really. You can if you really wanted to, but it's not really worth it. It's just going to cut your fingers and the rag, so. Yep, and then we'll come over there and we'll lube down this part. Top to bottom. Spick and spam. Good times, you know? Doesn't have to be super clean, and who cares how good your bike's working? If the components are working good, that's all that matters. I like cleaning out my bike because it looks sexy, and yeah. Hopefully we'll have some mountain bike videos in the future, or actually ride this puppy. I did have some wheelie progression videos, and those seemed to kind of blow up. Got like 600 views, and I have like 14 subscribers, so. You know me, just trying to get all the stuff in. Eventually, maybe today, if you guys really wanted it, we'll have a woods exploration video, and we'll go hang out with Mitchell at our base camp. We'll see about that. I'm not sure if it'll happen, but, yep. Anyways, continuing to wipe down, just hanging out. Pretty good. Nothing too hard. This stand's really nice. I don't remember how expensive it was, but it's pretty good. When you start to get towards the bottom where the components are, you want to probably be a bit more gentler just so you don't cut your fingers and so you don't damage the components. Make sure to get all the grime off the stems just in case the chain hits this crossbeam here, because you don't want your chain to get dirty because you have dirt on the little fork there. So, you know, as usual. So next, you'll come around here, start wiping in here. Don't wipe down in here yet because we'll get like a toothbrush. You'll get a toothbrush or something and do that. We'll do that in a minute. But just start wiping everything down very generally. Wipe the top of your derailleur off, the bottom here where the guard is. Don't do anything too thorough right now. We'll come back, and if you want to come back, you can. My bike's not going to be shimmering and shining, but it's not also going to be like dirty as hell. Riding in the snow definitely gets some wear and tear on this thing. That's for sure. Just make sure everything's pretty much cleaned off. My bike is the Roscoe 8, by the way. Oh, a hardtail. She's pretty nice. You could wipe off the handlebars if you really wanted to. I don't really do that because, well, it's kind of useless. It doesn't do anything. But if you really wanted to, you could. So next thing we're gonna do here is we're gonna take out old toothbrush. These things are super useful and they're really good for cleaning your bike. Okay. Now, you take your toothbrush and you start going over the little areas that you couldn't get with your rag. And I do have metal brushes, but don't use metal brushes on any part of your frame because that will damage and scratch all of the paint off. So that's what you definitely don't want to do. You really only need an old rag and a toothbrush to clean an entire bike, or an old paintbrush, like one of those big old paintbrushes. Those are really good for getting in to like this part because they have big bristles and they can get all the dirt out. And you can stick the toothbrush inside the, like where the crank sockets are, and like try to like fish the dirt out and spin your wheel and pedal with your hands. So you can do that, but that's easier also to do with a toothbrush. Start brushing out your back cog or cassette. You could do this and it'll do just fine. Like on just on each gear, making sure that you're getting all of the dirt and all of the grime out of this thing. We'll do the chain in a minute. I'll teach you how to re-grease it, so that's pretty cool. Next, I am going to take this toothbrush and just get inside of these derailleur components of my SRAM derailleur and just kind of, you know, go around in there and just wipe it off. Just clean all of the components that move, because moving components tend to get more damage by dirt than anything else. Water sometimes damages things, but that's only if you leave water on there for a long time with rust, with things that have iron particles in them, so it'll rust. But your bike components most of the time most likely won't rust, and that's what we want. We don't want them to rust. So now I'm just wiping it off. Simply just trying to get as much dirt out as possible on any of the moving components and cleaning it down nice and good with the toothbrush. And so next thing I use personally is a handy dandy toothbrush. This thing is frayed like crazy from shoving it into different bike components trying to get all the dirt out. So what you're going to do with this is you're going to take it, and since these bristles are long enough, you can shove it in here like that, and then it'll clean out all of the dirt that's on your that's in that little space there. And then you go to the other side and try to wipe that off. You can clean your crank arms with this too, which I don't really care about cleaning my crank arms because they're just going to get dirty again anyhow. That's what they do. Sounds pretty good to me. It's not going to be perfect unless you go get it tuned or something. Also, check your tire pressure, especially during these cold days. The tire pressure does get lower and stuff starts to freeze. My back tire may or may not be a little loose, like wobble side to side, so I might have to fix that, but that's not too hard because it's just one of those quick release levers. So now we're gonna loop the chain. So what you want to do is you want to take that rag out from earlier and take some of your, I have Pedro's biodegradable chain lubricant. It's pretty useful. And what you're going to want to do is take the cap off, put it on the ground, tip the bottle over, put your rag on this thing, tip the bottle over, hold the rag and squeeze out the grease. And when you just hold the rag, just do this and just get grease all over your chain, all over it, so everything moves nice and smoothly. And once you feel like you've gotten every single link, you're going to take this rag and you're going to put it on the chain and you're just going to wipe it all off. because this will leave the grease in the components that you want it to be, but not everywhere, because grease does get everywhere, all over your clothing and stuff. See, I spilled a little grease right here, and I'll just wipe it up with this rag. And it makes my frame look shiny. And what you want to do is just crank, do some shifting. See how it's smooth? See? Nice and easy. Kind of crunchy. I can't really fix that though, so I don't know how to. And it's all done. So, that was how to clean and lube your bike. Thank you, everybody. I'm Tom from Exploration Central, and I'm out. I'll see you later.